I'll hand you this because I don't know if you'll need it on this one. We had a request to do a song. I forgot to ask Adam if he knew it at all. So, excuse me a minute. There's several people that ask us to do this over the weekend, and every time I forgot to ask Adam, and he says he knows the title and the tune, but he has no idea what key we might end up in, which is fair in this band. A wonderful partner in this festival is over here at the side. See, I hope she's practicing up on scholarship, giving away and stuff. And I like to do this for her because I don't think anything captures her spirit better than this story. I had a wonderful horse. That was my first horse. I was planning on buying a furnace, but I thought I need a horse more. And finally, I went to get this horse, and it had been a champion horse. I went back to look at it in the stall at its last competition, ribbons and trophies and stuff hanging around. And of course, I didn't know nothing about horses except I needed one. And I was pretty impressed by all the hardware went with him. And so after that was over, I brought him over to the house. And this horse, I didn't know this, but he was a show horse. I mean, I knew that part, but I didn't know how they lived. He had spent the last 12 years of his life in a stall so that he didn't get scratched up or anything. They would shave him and cut his hair, you know, and braid him all up and put trinkets on him and stuff. And that was his job. And so they brought him over to the farm and let him out of this trailer, and I'd opened up the gate where he could run out there in the pasture. And there's a little creek running down there, and he gets out in that pasture and looks it all around, you know, and he jumps over that creek, and he gets up there in grass clear up to his, whatever this is on a horse. And of course, anybody's ever been around the horse knows what he done then. He just flopped down there and started rolling. And then pretty soon, he realized he was rolling in his dinner, and he didn't even quit rolling. He just kept rolling, and he reached over and got him a big mouthful of grass, and he lay there rolling and eating. And I thought, I bet that's what heaven's like. You get to heaven, you can roll and eat at the same time. Well, I told you I'd tell you this. Had that horse for many, many years, and he taught half the Girl Scouts in Champaign County, Ohio how to ride, or at least gave them a ride. But one of my very favorite things was when Mary Dow and George came out, her husband George came out, and they were going to ride some horses. By then I had a bunch of horses because that was just the way my life had to turn out. And Mary chose this horse. And I have pictures that I still enjoy looking at because somewhere Mary had learned how to ride correctly. I admired that a lot because I was just trying to figure out how to hang on to a horse dumped me. But I have these pictures where the horse is totally collected, flagging his tail and just standing there like, I'm the one that won all those ribbons. Yes, I am. Take a look at this side, take a look at that side. But I'm going to tell you about Mary. The horse was beautiful, the horse was dutiful, the horse was a great horse. But that was in the summer, and that winter, got a present from Mary. And I thought, oh man, I forgot to get her anything, you know. And open it up, it wasn't a present for me at all. There were shipping boots for that horse. He was the horse that he didn't have to go anywhere anymore, so he didn't have any shipping boots. But I put those on him. I may be going somewhere, you know. Anyways, I had that horse for a bunch of years, and one day I went out in the pasture, and he was what they call tied up. He couldn't move, and I didn't want him to get carried around in a front loader, so I spent several hours lifting him up one leg at a time back to his stall. And as with all our great friends of other species, we must do for them what we're not allowed to do for our own selves yet. And the time came for him, and my neighbor came and dug a grave, and the vet came and put him down. And so when I filled in the grave, I sang this song for him, and we're singing for you now. Troubles and trials often beset us, causing the weary body to stray. But shall walk beside the still water with the good shepherd leading the way. Going up on to living green pasture, where we shall live and die nevermore. Even the Lord will be that number when we have reached that heavenly shore. We will not heed the voice of a stranger, for he would lead us on to despair. Following on with Jesus our Savior, we shall all reach that country so fair. Going up on to living green pasture, where we shall live and die nevermore. Even the Lord will be in that number when we have reached that heavenly shore. Thank you. Great bass playing by Dan Russell there. That song wouldn't be anything without that. And wonderful singing from Adam McIntosh, our substitute guitar player. You don't find many subs like that. And a great singing and playing from Tom Boyd. One of those. They always remind me of things I likely to forget, so I'll go through this. I hope I'm not drawing too slow for you. I know there's a lot of new people here, so you elder statesmen, if you'll help them along, that'd be like in the old country church. And the church I went to, they used to, the city slickers from up in Michigan used to send us hymnals and other stuff, blankets, shoes at our church. And we never had a matched set of hymnals, but it never really mattered because the old deacons of the church couldn't read. But they'd get them hymnals, they were so proud of them, you know, and they'd open them up to a song and they'd get to singing along. Of course, we all had to know the song because we knew it wasn't what they was in the book looking at. But so when we would sing those songs, they would do what they called lining them out. They'd sing a verse and then we'd sing it back. And there wasn't but two tunes, one of them Foggy Mountain Breakdown, the other one wasn't. So that'd be the tune we sung, the one that wasn't Foggy Mountain Breakdown. But here's the thing. I know there's a lot of new people here, so I'm going to tell you the words of this song. But it's not absolutely necessary that you learn them. Although it's helpful for us, but if you don't, because here's the thing, even in those old churches, down there in the slums of Appalachia, we was all wanting to get out. And so some of us made it out, and we'd go move in a city or something, and we'd go back down home on Easter and Christmas, and they'd take us to church. And here's the thing about the city slickers. By then we had a minister, and they had the numbers of the hymns up on the wall, and whenever the regular people would get their hymnal out, the city slickers act like they didn't even need that. They just stand there like we know all the songs. And we called that singing city style, because the country people would sing the right words and sort of a tune. And the city slickers, you could sidle up next to one of them, they didn't have no hymn, they'd go, the Lord. And not to cause you any existential angst if you're singing city style, but you never can. There's this word in a lot of hymnals, if you ever saw one, which is forever now. And when you're a little redneck, you have no idea what forever now means. And we hated that word because most of the hymns, you know, had a forevermore, and we were tough. You know, having on forevermore. But I always liked it when the Slickers were there, because we'd be going forever now. So you can do that if you don't get all the words. But we'd like you to sing this with us, called Touch the Hem of His Garment. And the words are these. If I could just touch the hem of his garment, if I could just touch some part of his robe, I know I'd be healed, my sins all forgiven. If I could just touch him, I know I'd be whole. And we'll get all 5 singers in the quartet up here to just sing it one time through, so you know. Oh yeah, you're going to have to stand up for it. Those of you that can stand, now those of you that just choose not to stand, let me warn you, there's 3 or 4 Kentucky knife fighters circulating. Now I see some people getting up. Isn't that funny how if you put Kentucky in front of something, it scares people more than if I just said, like, what if I'd have said, there's 4 or 5 Boston knife fighters. If I could just touch the hem of his garment, if I could just touch some part of his robe, I know I'd be healed, my sins all forgiven. If I could just touch him, I know I'd be whole. The congregation will remain standing, and the preacher would say something like this. Blind Barton sitting by the wayside begging, with no one to help him down life's weird way. And Jesus came by, and he seen his condition, and he touched his blind eye and showed him the way. If I could just touch the hem of his garment, if I could just touch some part of his robe, I know I'd be healed, my sins all forgiven. If I could just touch him, I know I'd be whole. Do it one more time for us, would you? I appreciate it. If I could just touch the hem of his garment, if I could just touch some part of his robe, I know sins all forgiven. If I could just touch him, I know I'd be whole. Amen. It's been wonderful getting to sing with you. And you are good sport. Thank you so much. Stuff coming this afternoon. Y'all stick around for it if you can. Be safe, and thanks for being here this morning.
Your hosts for the Gray Fox Bluegrass Festival, the Dry Branch Fire Squad. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. You'll see